continues. First of all, obviously, Ryan Gravenberch, we understand, was taken off with precaution. Is he okay? Where's Alisson at? And Canate as well? Will he be fit to face Manchester United?
Ryan is completely fit, although we still have to train twice. But if you ask me now, he's completely fit. We are in a good place with the Dutch national team. If Ronald Koeman can make a decision either to play Tijani Reinders or Ryan Gravenberch. So he played them both 45 minutes. Ibu has come back to us, started his sessions again and expected to train with us today. And the third one is Alisson. He's not training with us, so he's out.
Have you got any further indication as to how long Alisson could be?
Like I always say, it's so difficult to say because the end phase of rehab always can give you positives or negatives. But he will not play in the weekend and also not next week.
Virgil has spoken again about just how difficult it is to retain the Premier League title, and possibly we saw some of that in the run prior to the international break as well. So what's your message been to the players now as you regroup, return to Premier League action in what is traditionally the biggest fixture, one of the biggest fixtures in the calendar?
No, I think what we can say is if we compare ourselves to last season, we don't create as many chances as we did last season, in the start of last season. But we are still the team that from open play creates the most XG chances, most shots on target. But we've conceded too many goals. We've conceded too many goals, that's for sure. And we've conceded 9, where 4 of them are from set pieces. That is what was and still is, by the way, a strength of us, which sounds weird if you concede 4. But that's not a reflection of the chances we've conceded in terms of set pieces. So the other 5 were 2 fast breaks and 3 from open play. I think in open play, we are conceding too many crosses, so that is one of the things where we have to address and what we have to do better. And like Virgil says, I don't know if he says this, but I think he means he implements this. He means this that teams are facing us differently than the first half of last season. But that is also what I've said. The amount of long balls that we are facing now compared to last season, I think we're already 1/3 on the way in the amount of long balls we have to defend compared to last season. After 7 games already, so we have to find answers to that. And the first answer is not to concede so many goals, because if it's harder to score your goals, the best thing you can do is make it harder for teams to score against you as well.
We've also, you mentioned that obviously scoring goals. We've only seen Mo's numbers drop off because it's 5 in his last 21 appearances. Last season we saw him hit 32 in the first 41 games. Yet against Manchester United he scored more goals in this fixture than any other player. So is this the kind of game that maybe could reignite Mo's form once again? Or goal scoring form, I should say.
I think it should not matter who we are playing on Sunday or Saturday, but we play on Sunday. If you've lost 3 games in a row and you wear the Liverpool shirt, it doesn't matter who your opponent is, you have to react. And if there's one thing I cannot blame the players is that they give everything they have every single game. They go all in from the first till the last minute. This is what we did in the last 3 games as well. We, in both games, had to come back. In all 3 games we had to come back from being 1-0 down. In 2 games we managed to do so. But unfortunately lost in the end, where we were having chances in both games, maybe more than our opponent, to win it. But if you've lost 3 in a row, it doesn't matter if Man United is coming or Brentford next week. There should always be a reaction, not only from Mo, from all the players.
How do you view this? Just speaking about playing Manchester United in general, the rivalry between Liverpool and Manchester United. How do you view this as an occasion now that you've been involved?
No, it's. I look forward to every single Premier League game, but maybe even more towards the Man United one, because I know how special it is, and I've experienced it last season, how special of a game it is. We know that it's probably the game that's been watched the most all over the world. So yeah, it's special to be part of it, but in the end it's also a game where we have to be at our best, because United, in my opinion, has had a better start of the season than maybe the league table is showing. So So yeah, very interesting game and a game to look forward to, especially because it's played at Anfield. And I think our fans have been so supportive for us as long as I'm here and long before I was here. And I think they understand that the team that has lost three times in a row, they need to be ready, our team. But I think our fans can help us and will help us on Sunday as well.
Hi Arne, you mentioned before about teams playing you in a different way this season, obviously trying to defend your championship. Have you had to, or how much have you had to sort of rethink how you set up and how you play, and how can Liverpool start to surprise teams again?
If you are the team that has created most chances from open play, you can argue if we don't surprise teams. Maybe we do things better than the last three results has shown. But it's also clear what I just said, that we haven't created that many chances we did last season, and there's a reason for that. That's playing style of the opponent, and we have to find answers to that. But the first answer is not to concede so many goals as we did, because there's one way of winning a game of football, to score 2 or 3 goals. But if the other team scores 1 or 2 goals, you need 3 goals. Where last season we also were able to keep a clean sheet and only need 1 goal. First half of last season, we mainly got these goals from a special moment of one of our front three. Where in the second half, we mainly needed a set piece to make the difference against these low blocks. And this season, we haven't had that many special moments. Special, what I mean is an act of brilliance. And we haven't scored from a set piece. If you would tell me that we've conceded 40% of our goals from set pieces, and the number 1 in the league has scored 60% of their goals from set pieces, and we're still 1 point behind that team, I would probably think that's not even that bad. But it is, of course, clear that conceding 4 is far too much for a team that wants to compete.
And Alexander Isak played twice for Sweden, 4 games over the international break. I just wonder how you see his fitness progressing, as I know you've been keen to sort of build him up steadily, given his lack of pre-season and everything that's gone on.
Yeah, I think that's what we did. And I think now he's had his 5-6 weeks of pre-season, which is normal for every player, especially if you've been out for 3 or 4 months. So fitness-wise, I think he's now close to the level he should be. And now I think we can judge him in the best, in a fair way from now on. So I know how this industry works. If he plays there twice and doesn't score, then that's not what you're hoping for. Of course, you're hoping if they go to the national teams that they score goals, like Cody did, like Virgil did, like Dominic did, and like McAllister did. Do I forget a few? Probably. But he didn't. But I think his pre-season maybe finished. Now he's played a few games, 70, 80, 90 minutes. So let's see where he is in the upcoming weeks.
Thank you.
Carl?
This team is not used to losing 3 games in a row. I'm just wondering what effect that may have had on confidence and who do you look to in the dressing room to sort of re-establish sort of normality?
No, I think these players might need me, but I don't think they need me to tell them what has happened. We've played 10 games this season, won 7, lost 3. And the 3 we've lost by very close margins, twice in the last minute, and once both teams got a penalty. Both times the VAR should have overturned that decision, but only the one we got was overturned. So the margins are small, but I keep saying we should not be dependent of that margins. Although if we play Chelsea away, I think it's normal that that's an equal game because Chelsea has a very good team as well. And we were able to create more than them. So that is part of it, but results don't lie. If you lose 3 times in a row, we have to do better. But I think these players that have experienced so many things don't wake up at night thinking, wow, we've lost 3 times. We need to be aware of that. We are aware of that, and we have to react to that. But we have to give the same reaction if we win 3 times in a row and Man United is on the fixture list. So what we have to do is create habits, do everything what we usually do if we win or lose. But maybe after losing 3 times, you're hoping for for that sparkle or this 1 or 2% more. Not only from us, also from our fans on Sunday.
Did the international break help in a way in that it took players out of current situation before we give them a chance for a new scenario with the countries, and also help quieten down the sort of talk about losing 3 in a week?
That last thing I don't know. I assume that everybody's talking about that now again. I don't know, but it's just a situation as it is. You could argue it's better to have them with you to have the next game again, and then people cannot talk about it for 2 weeks. Now people could talk about it for 2 weeks. They went to the national team. A few of them had goals and assists, but what I like about top players is that you don't notice anything if they win 3 times in a row. They don't walk into this building or in the dressing room feeling they are so much better than the rest of the league. They just prepare themselves every single time in the same way if they win or lose. But yeah, the outside world is of course very focused on the results, which we are as well. So we don't deny the results over here. We need to do better. Not only because we lost 3 times. I think in general, if you look at all the 10 games, it was 10 times quite equal, like last season, by the way. And we are trying to work every single day to make that gap between us and the teams we face bigger. But yeah, easier said than done.
James.
Arne, just on Alexis, he was talking the other night after the Argentina game, saying he hadn't at the start of the season individually that he'd hoped for. Do you put that down to the big chunk of pre-season that he missed? And similar to Alex, would you expect him now to be in a position to kick on and be more influential?
I haven't heard that interview, so I don't know what he meant. Did he meant the quality of play? Did he meant the amount of minutes he made? One thing is clear, and that's what it was in your question, is that he missed out on a lot. Unfortunately, he went out immediately after we won the league, and we were expecting him to be back from the start of pre-season, which he wasn't. And yeah, that led to the fact that he wasn't able to play 3 times in a row. So he went in, out, 60 minutes, 45 minutes. And that's never an ideal scenario for a player. But like all the others, he's a player that has experienced so many things in his career already that he will be back at the level he wants and the level I want from him.
Hi Arne. Sunday is the start of 7 games in 21 days, 3 weeks basically. And you've spoken plenty of times about the benefit of consistency and cohesion between the sides. But also, you know that in such a period you're not going to be able to play everyone every game. How hard is it to make that balance between trying to build that chemistry between the sides, but also keep the freshness going?
Yeah, that's an interesting one, because we were just talking about Maka, we're talking about Alex. Those are players we need to bring them back towards a lot of playing time, but you cannot go from no playing time at all to 3 times in a week. So that's why Conor Bradley the same in pre-season. So we had a few of them that led to changes, but everywhere around the world where teams have to face schedules like this, they have more than 11 players to take on this schedule. The thing is, if you rotate and you win, you do the smart thing. If you rotate and you lose, you have to play more with the same players. This is how football works. But it's clear that in general, it's, especially for certain positions, it's almost impossible to play them every single game. And if you do, it's the risk of a player getting injured. And this has happened just before the international break with a few players, and has happened during the international break with some players, not with ours. Except for Alisson, of course. But so yeah, you have to find a balance in this. But I think the ones we have are now longer together. So yes, Alex is not the same player as Hugo, but they are both a number 9, and they both know what to do in our system. So it's only something I like, that I have more than 11 players that can play a game of football, and it's never the reason for us to drop points or to lose a game of football.
Well, that's one.
And after the Chelsea game, there was a little bit of debate about Sal's positions. Effectively, Mark and Correa come out and said that was an area that Chelsea wanted to exploit. When you're playing a number 10 like Bates in there rather than Sabozlai, how do you strike that balance in terms of most position, out of possession, and tracking back?
What does Florian Wirtz and Dominic Szoboszlai have to do with Cucurella attacking
Last season,
Marcelo?
called a little bit more in terms of defence,
Did he?
his energy, his pressing, or his weight is more of an attacking midfielder?
I think they're both attacking midfielders, and both are expected to defend, like all our 11 players are expected to defend. So yes, in this particular case, I heard the comments of Cucurella. I also saw how they scored the 2-1, but I could also show you 5 or 6 moments where Mo could have made the difference for us. And if that would have happened, we would have had the conversation like last season, where he so many times made the difference for us. And yeah, if that then doesn't happen, you get probably comments like this. It's always the balance between winger and fullbacks that is quite. I want our fullbacks to attack as well. So that we have to find the right balance in that. But I just said in the start that we are conceding too many crosses compared to last season, and this is something I'm aware of, and we have to do better. You're welcome.